The quality
recording?
is insane, though. I have to say, no, of like, wow, crazy levels.
Levels to the shit, man. Levels to the shit, man.
This is gonna be jokes. Okay.
It is.
Sorry.
Welcome to MOGUL Radio, a platform where we sit and have conversations with artists, innovators, visionary, and honestly, friends. We discuss their journey, their passions, the challenges they face, pursuing these passions, and what inspiration drives them. Whether you're a creative, enthusiast, or you're just curious, this is a space where you can connect and grow with us. Let's get started. Today I have with me the one and only Presho. You guys may know her as Precious Uday, but
Yeah,
Presho is what I call her. Precious, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Nov. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for the introduction. That was
It could have been longer, but
No.
I can't gas you. Can't gas you.
I appreciate it though. No, that was nice.
Yeah. What's up? What's been going on with you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm
Thanks for
excited.
accepting the invite. We wanted to have you in the first one, but I
Yeah.
think, it's this time bigger set, more cameras,
Yeah.
and better location, I'd say.
I really like the setup you have here, so
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Couldn't have done it without pulling strings. He knows himself. Shout out to him for pulling this. But yeah, what have you been up to lately?
honestly, like not much. This summer was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Traveled a bit.
I seen y'all travel together.
Traveled a bit.
Group chat, isn't it?
The weddings too. You were there too. Like
It was
family. It was family.
Family. It was a great wedding. It was a great wedding.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Shout out to Corey and Debbie.
Shout out.
Love you guys.
But no, like honestly, been keeping busy. Europe was really fun. That was my first time actually. So
Oh, is it?
yeah, went to London, Paris, and that was nice. And then yeah, honestly, apart from that, just working, doing what I gotta do. Yeah.
You went with Cleo. We had Cleo
Yeah.
last year. And
Yes.
you went with Sean
Joan, yes.
and
And then Kalechi as well.
Chan.
So we're the four of us, we've been friends since university. We were roommates in uni, and we've kind of kept in touch since. So it was nice. A little girls trip, you know how it is.
Out of the group chat. Made it out of the
I
group
made it
chat.
out of the group chat, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Honestly, it was about time too.
Yeah, you guys are all so busy and it's
Yeah. Speaking, like, life is really lifing. Can I just say, like,
Go on. The floor is yours.
adulting is crazy.
I can relate.
But yeah, no.
Did you guys go for a fashion week or anything?
Well, we went during Fashion Week. So when we were in London, Fashion Week was just starting. So it was kind of nice to be in London at that time. It was actually, I would recommend going to London in September. Like, yeah, so, there's like other events going on for like local designers and stuff like that. So like it's open to the public. So we actually went to one where it was like a runway show for like up and coming designers. So that was really cool too, especially for Cleo because she's also an up and coming designer too. So it was nice to like
Shout out Soap Studios.
Shout out Soap Studios. So it was this one.
It's all good.
So it was nice to see like what other people are doing out there too, and what the fashion space looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool, and I think Europe is just a nice place to be to get inspired, fashion wise and like lifestyle wise. It's such a different like place. And
Community scenery.
Exactly, everything.
Yeah.
Even down to like the food, it was nice. So it was a good break.
I'm sure it was also good for Cleo getting inspiration.
I would say so, yeah. And honestly, from when she started her this is going to turn into a Soap Studios conversation.
Plug Soap Studios. We love Soap Studios.
Yeah, but I think like from when she started till now, I can see a lot of like her inspiration. It's quite like her brand has shifted and it's changed over time. It's only been like a couple years, but like I know that even her moving to Toronto. And I think living in these bigger cities like London, Paris, I think it just like, it allows you to like really broaden and like open your mind and not to shit on, Calgary. Can I?
Yeah, you can swear.
Not to like, Calgary is good for what it is and like the community that we have here. I think we do have a nice creative community, but I think sometimes you kind of outgrow a city. And so even for me, I'm kind of in this space where I feel like I'm outgrowing Calgary as a city. And so even being in London and being in Paris, I was like, wow, like this is very refreshing and it's new and it's different, right? And yeah, like it just kind of inspires new like ideas and conversations. And so I think Cleo will speak to this too. I think she feels the same, and I think that will translate with like the stuff that she makes now with her brand. So, yeah.
Cool, that's cool. But on the topic of yourself as a person, as a brand, we all know you. I can speak for all of us. We all know you as a stylist, a fashionista, if I may will.
That's fair. Yeah.
What inspired that?
It's so funny because like I feel like everybody else labels me as that except me. Like I stay away from that label just because it's never really been like that for me. So I guess going back, I would say my like fashion journey and just like experimenting with style really started in high school. That's kind of when I started to really like, I just didn't care anymore. Like I was just gonna, and I think what helped with that was like, nobody was checking for me in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was kind of a loser. Like I was just there. Like I was just existing, And I mean in the sense of like, I didn't really like, I wasn't popular. Like I wasn't going to like all the house parties and stuff, or like, I didn't have crushes, or like nobody was, checking for me in that way. So it really gave me a lot of freedom because I was like, okay, like, let me just do my thing. Mm-hmm. So that's when I really started to like experiment with style but my style back then was horrible, obviously. Like looking back now, looking back now, it's, it was interesting, but I really appreciate that time, especially because it really led me to just like focus on self-expression. So that's kind of my biggest thing when it comes to my style and like, the clothes I wear. It's just always been about self-expression. Like I want people to see me and be like, yeah, that's Precious, like that's really my whole thing. I don't really care about the labels of like, oh, she's a stylist, or oh, she's, a fashionista. Like I just want to be me. A big way that I found that like I have achieved that is just through my style. It's just through like, the clothes I choose to wear. And a big part of that too is just experimentation. So I love to experiment with, silhouettes and different patterns and stuff like that. And I think why it's made the impact it has in Calgary is because it's not really Calgary. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like I'm trying to like push boundaries a little for what is comfortable within the Calgary scene.
I see.
And what is comfortable within, just our community, especially like the creative community. So I think that's where I've been able to find my footing and find my space. And I've been fortunate enough because that has translated into other people seeing me and seeing that authenticity and be like, yeah, like she's cool, like she's dope, and I want to work with her, I want to collaborate with her, right? So it was never a thing of like, I have this idea, I want to be a stylist in Calgary. Like it never started out, I was like, this is the path I want to go on. Like this is going to be my job or like my career. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It never really started out as this vision of like, okay, I'm going to make a name for myself as a stylist or just as all around, somebody that eventually starts to collaborate with other people. But I think just because of being true to myself and just always showing up in every space as me, I think that just naturally has translated into where I am now. So yeah, that's kind of been my journey. But shout out to awkward teen Precious in high school because I would look like I'm actually so proud of her. Like shout out to you for just sticking to yourself and like, doing your own thing, because it wasn't easy. Like, I was clowned.
Then,
I was clowned. I was clowned a few times, but
primary school is dread. Everyone just
Yeah.
be saying whatever.
yeah.
But I'm sure it helped to build character.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's also because I like to think that I also have a good, like, a big-ish personality, right? So I think my style has, like, complemented that now. So my style is part of my personality, right? So it's like when you're meeting Precious, you're meeting this, like, vibrant and, like, stylish girl, but I think that vibrancy also translates into just, like, me, because I'm a light and I shine.
Love that. I love that.
So yeah, it's just about shining in whatever room you walk into. Just be that girl. And that's honestly, like, my advice to anybody that's like, how do I get into, like, my style, or, just do you. Like, genuinely just, like, find the root of what you love. And I think once you're confident in yourself, your style evolves from there, right? Because then you're not afraid to try things.
Yeah.
Even if, because I will say, like, I look back on even some of my more recent fits and I'm like, that was kind of a flop. But in the moment, I'm like, this is cool. Like, I feel comfortable in this moment, so I'm going to rock it, right?
You spoke about two things, one being involving, but before we touch that, you're confident. Would you say you've always been a confident person, or it's something you had to learn over the years?
That's a really good one. I haven't always been a confident person, but it's evolved over time. And I think when I think about confidence and what that looks like to me, it's really just about, I'm confident because I'm sure about myself, I'm confident because I'm humble. Like, I'm confident because I'm friendly. Like, the way I interact with people and, like, the way that I show up, especially within the creative space, I feel like confidence isn't just about, oh, this is, like, I'm good at what I do, right? It's also just about, like, the way you interact with people and the way you support other people. Confidence is about supporting other people, like, truly supporting other people and not feeling that, like, that takes away from you, right? I think, honestly, that's the biggest, like, that's what I pride myself in, honestly, the most, is that I think within the creative scene, like, ask anybody, truly, like, if I support you, I support you.
Man, you're a big hype man. That's true. I've experienced.
Yeah,
so.
like, if I truly believe in your work and what you're doing, and I see the vision, like, I'm not afraid to let you know that either, right? Because how did we even become friends?
I try to think about this.
Yeah.
No, I do remember.
Okay.
I do remember. I can't remember what blog post it was.
Exactly. It doesn't even matter, though.
I remember you had read it.
Yeah.
And you responded to it and said, I write like a philosopher.
Yeah.
Till this day, I embody that. You said, I write like a philosopher, and other great comments. And from there, we just started keeping up.
Exactly. And to me, though, but, like, in my head, I didn't have the intention of, like, oh, let me say this and that's going to spark our friendship. To me, I was like, you know what? This guy's dope. Let me just let him know and then keep it pushing, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I genuinely feel like, and that's the thing, like, I don't do these things to get that, like, recognition, but I just feel like the people that truly see me and know me and, like, understand where I'm coming from, understand that, like, it's always just from a place of genuine, like, you know what, admiration and support, because, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm all about just, like, uplifting the community, and, like, especially because I love creative, like, people, right? Like, because I'm a creative person myself, and, obviously that takes shape in a different form through fashion and through style, but it doesn't matter what your outlet is, right? Like, I just understand that process, and, like, I understand what it takes, and even just, like, how much you have to believe in yourself to actually put your work out there. Like, it's not easy.
Tell me about it.
And I think that's why, like, I empathize a lot, because it's like, back to high school, it's like, it's not easy to show up in something that, like, people are just like, who is
Whose
this?
man's is this? Yeah. Whose plan?
To just kind of like bring everything back is all I'm saying is like my confidence just comes from the fact that like I'm a genuine person and I'm a good friend to like other people, right? And
Sure.
if I if I support you and if I believe in your vision, like I hope you feel that support. And then I love that collaboration that it creates, because it's like, that's really all I'm about. Like, hit me up to do stuff. Like, why not? Like,
No, you're genuinely great at that.
Yeah.
I remember with the Levi's project this year.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to go. To be honest, I didn't want to go through the deal of styling. I
Yeah.
wasn't great, and we had such limited pieces
Yeah.
to work with, and I didn't have the knowledge or talent
Yeah.
to bring everything together. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I know someone that will do this.
Yeah.
And I hit you up.
Yeah.
And they loved the outfit.
Yeah.
And we ended up shooting that project, and they loved it. So shout out to you on that one.
Thank you. And I really thank you though, because I even like when people think of me in that way, I'm actually genuinely honored, because I'm like, damn, like, you thought to reach out, and I appreciate that. Because another thing with me, why I'm still going back and forth between like the confidence thing, is because like I'm not always confident when it comes to like sharing my work, like in the sense of like, because everything I do right now is just for me. You know what I mean? Like, I style myself. Like, that's, if you ask me what styling experience do I have, I style myself, but I do a pretty good job. Like, you know what I mean? And clearly, if other people are like, hey, like, I want to work with you, I feel like my presence should speak for itself, right?
Yeah.
I will say, like, I could do a better job when it comes to actually, like, sharing my work with people, in the sense of, like, working with other people, styling other people, right? And I think that's where I'm still working on my confidence, because I don't know, part of it might just be, like, imposter syndrome of, like, ooh.
That's a beast of its own. On its own, imposter syndrome.
It's just kind of like, okay, there's actually a handful of other stylists that are doing amazing job in Calgary, right? That you can reach out to. So I think it's because I don't have that portfolio. My portfolio is literally my Instagram.
Yeah. It's great.
That's my portfolio. So
on the topic of collaborations, and one project I do like and we did together was, I think the first one, the portrait, where that was a pretty cool one that I ended up putting on the shirt, and
that you're wearing. That's awesome.
Claire's also wearing that.
Shout out to you, Claire.
Shout out to Claire. It was her idea.
Thank you, because that, honestly, you guys are awesome. But this was a really good project.
Yeah, a lot of people liked it. Just the headshot, I can't remember my thought process of like wanting to do that.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I'd like to shoot you as well. And again, you were down for it. I will. What project would you say no to?
Oh. Like, from you? Or just in general?
In general.
To be honest, like, I don't know if it's something that like I genuinely feel like is above my capabilities, or like I genuinely can't even think of anything right now, because everything that people have reached out to me to do has been stuff that like I would want to do, right? And I appreciate that too, because I feel like it's important that like when you're reaching out to people to collaborate, that you also like, you have an understanding for like who you're asking to do that work with, right? Like, if you're coming to me to ask me to like photograph you, I have no photography experience.
That's cap, though. That's cap, though.
Okay, that's not my main thing. Let me just put it that way.
But don't let. That's cap, but I'll let you go with that
it's fine.
I'll let you go with that answer.
But yeah, so I don't really think there's anything I would say no to. Like, truly.
What challenges would you say you faced, being a stylist or being a fashionista? in general and also in Calgary?
In Calgary. So I think I briefly touched on like the challenges in Calgary. And I think it's just, for me, I just find in Calgary, it takes a bit more time for people to like catch on. Like, you know what I mean? I think that would be my biggest challenge. But at the same time, like, not really, because it's a challenge when you're trying to like do something. It's a challenge when you're trying to like maybe work on a project, right? You're worried about, how will this be received, or like, yeah, because at the end of the day, why are we creating? Like, we're creating for other people. Like, we're creating to share our work, like art with other people, right? So I think it's a challenge when you feel like the community that you're in, like, not that they're not receptive to it, but maybe just not in the way that you envision or that you would hope. So I think that's been my biggest challenge. And I will say, like, even like down to like personality, like aside from like style and all of that stuff, I know I'm not for everybody, like in the city. You know what I mean? So even when it comes to like friendships and stuff, like I like only have a few. I have a handful of friends. But listen to me, like, it's actually like, I'm not saying that from a place of like, oh, like I wish I had more of a community. I'm generally just saying that of like, when you find like your core group, and you're fortunate enough to find people that are also like, creative in their own way, and you guys can kind of like build on that, like that's really all you need, And so even though when you're putting out work, you want more of the community to really like embrace it, like and that can be a challenge. But at the same time, I just find that like your art will speak to who it speaks to, right? And I think it will speak to the right people, and those are the people that you need to be worried about.
Preach. The full name for your fan base would be the Pleasurers.
Not fan base. Why do I need
Pleasurers? I coined it. Remember that. If you end up calling them that, I named it.
I'll keep it in mind.
What would you say your biggest pet peeve is?
Okay, I have a few.
Name them.
My top one would probably be just like a lack of a sense of like urgency or like initiative, right?
You're gonna ruffle many feathers, but go on.
I know.
On.
It's probably not what you're expecting. You think I'm just gonna sit here and say heavy breathing? No. Let's get to the real issues. Yeah, so just like no sense of urgency and no sense to take initiative. And I mean, like, this isn't even like, I just mean day-to-day life, and like in certain situations is like, you have no sense of urgency. Like, you might be in a dire situation, or like you need to get something done, and there's just no like urgency to do that. I can't stand it, because it's like, why are you not moving? Like, why? That's probably my biggest one. Like, I think, yeah, I'm the type of person, like, I just need you to take action. I just need you to take some kind of action, even if it's not the right action. Just take action, but like, obviously, take calculated action.
So act, or don't act stupid.
Yeah. Thank you. That's, yeah. Other pet peeves, I mean, to me, okay, this one is kind of funny because I kind of did this today, but like lateness, I actually can't stand it. And I apologize for showing up late today. But
that is fine. Lateness, I can speak on this topic.
Like, I genuinely, and that's the thing, we're Nigerian. Like, I get it. Like, I know we
don't generalize. Don't generalize.
Like,
I'm punctual for the most part.
But yeah, just like, but the thing is, like, I'm understanding. So like, you have 10 to 15 minute window, but extreme lateness. Oh God, just cancel.
Just cancel. Yeah, exactly. Just cancel.
Just cancel.
We're not hanging out.
We're not hanging out. So that's honestly, it really, and I really try to like, because I wouldn't expect that of you if I can't do that, but like, I genuinely try to be like respectful of people's time, right?
Yeah,
so it's like, yeah, if you're 20 minutes or more late, oh boy, that really boils me.
I remember.
Yeah.
Remember the games night we had at Corey's place? They said be there by 6.
Yeah.
They did this little incentive where it was a games night. It was a point-based games.
Yeah.
They're like, if you come before I think 6:30, you get extra points in your whatever
in your teams or whatever.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was like, oh raw. I'm always early anyway, so
Yeah.
I showed up early.
Nobody.
People showed up 9. Some people showed up 9. I was livid. I'm like, what was the point?
Yeah.
And it pissed me off because my extra point didn't help me win the games. I still lost.
Yeah. So honestly, yeah, I can't stand lateness. No. It's just not.
I'm with you on that. What's a hot take you have?
Hot take.
Take your time.
I don't see the Beyonce appeal personally.
Fair.
Do I respect her as an artist and do I listen to her music? Of course. But she's really just another artist to me. She's not on this pedestal that I know she deserves to be on. Obviously that people have put her on. But to me, she's, Solange.
Thread carefully. Thread carefully.
Solange needs to give Beyonce styling tips. Solange needs to actually teach Beyonce how to dress. That's my hot take.
I'm not in agreement. I don't support this movement. Precious is trying.
I think Solange is the cooler sister. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I'm also not I'm not a beehive. So maybe I'm coming from a place. I'm not a huge Beyonce, diehard Beyonce fan. But my hot take is Solange every time for me over Beyonce. That's just how much I love Solange and she's so cool. Do you know how many things she does? She even composed a whole score for the New York Ballet.
Oh.
And she has her own glassware company. And her architectural digest of her home in she's just way cooler. Way cooler. And the thing is Beyonce just has that star she has that star power, right? She's obviously Beyonce. She's Beyonce, but let's focus on Solange.
Okay.
But she's cool.
What's a fashion trend you hate and you'd like to end now? Say with chest.
I don't like denim skirts, long denim skirts, maxi denim skirts. The ones that have the slit in the middle. I hate it. There's no way you can style that looks good to me, genuinely. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the long denim maxi skirts, with the slit.
With the slit?
It's not, to me, it's not flattering to anyone. Just wear jeans. Just wear jeans. Or keep it a mini denim skirt. That's fine. But the maxi, to me, it's just so much denim that I don't know, something about it just throws me off. But again, that's just a personal thing, right? I would personally just not wear it. And the way I've seen it styled, it just doesn't it's not bad, but it's also just not good to me, right? But it's so funny because it's such a popular trend. It's such a popular trend, but yeah, it's just a trend that I wouldn't partake in personally.
You've never partook in it?
No, I don't own a denim maxi skirt. I don't think, no.
You don't?
No, I'm have I? No, I'm pretty sure I haven't. Yeah, I haven't.
Whatever you say, G. It's a safe space. What would you say your favorite project you worked on is?
So it was actually recently. So ABBA had reached out to me. She started her brand. It's called Emanuela Graham, or EG for short. And she just reached out to me. She's one of those friends, kind of like you, where we're just Instagram mutuals, right? I love that. Sorry, not to sidetrack. I love that because it's I don't know, cool people start following me and then I start following them and it just naturally creates a friendship. And I think that's so organic and just like authentic, right? So anyway, she reached out to me and she was like, because she's based in Toronto too, and she was like, I'm actually coming to Calgary, and like, you know, I've been following you for a while, and when I envision someone styling my brand, like I think of you, right? So it kind of just started from there, and I was like, oh my God, like I'd be honored to. I'm not even really knowing the full story or anything like that. So yeah, long story short, we did the shoot, and I also got to work with Aaliyah, like an amazing photographer too, based in Edmonton. Shout out to you, Aaliyah, and Abba.
Shout out to both.
Yeah, so that was really cool because I got to style her clothes, really cool clothes too. Like she, like very talented. And yeah, it was just a really fun, like I think the process in general is very fun. It was very like free, and like I felt very comfortable, right? I think that's a big thing for me. It's like whatever I'm doing, I just want to feel like I'm meant to be doing this. Like this is fun. So yeah, it was really fun.
Who are some of your style inspirations?
I like this question. Boy, I've been waiting. If I could raid one person's closet, Solange.
Like Beyonce's sister?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Solange is like, she's the depiction of like how I want to show up when I'm older, like in my 30s or like, yeah, 30s, 40s. I love her style so much. I know it's kind of like Solange, it's kind of random because also she's like the underrated sister. But yeah, she's actually like also my style icon, right? So that's one of my celebrity like style inspos. Another one would be Tracee Ellis Ross. It's so funny. Can I
like the Blackish character?
Yeah. I'm finding where I'm at now, like my style inspo, they're like older women. Like that's who I'm drawing inspiration from more when it comes to my style. Like older established women, because I think I envision myself like this is how I want to look when I'm at their age. So Solange, Tracee, and these aren't even like, they're not old, like, you know what I mean, but they're just like mature.
Mature.
So like Solange, Tracee Ellis, and honestly I have to, obviously Rihanna, my queen, I have to throw her in there, but she's everybody's.
Nah, some people are diehard Beyonce, bro. Some people peak Beyonce now.
Beyonce as a style icon, as their like fashion inspo?
Maybe not a styling. Maybe I think it's more music, or just who's the queen in general. Are you a concert person?
I want to be more of a concert person, but also like the fact that like in like the way it's set up here, you have to travel to like other cities just to go to a concert has stopped me from going to as many more concerts than as more concerts as I would like to.
So in short, you're not.
I'm not, but I would like to be.
You try to get me out for a concert, but you're not a concert person yourself.
What?
How does that?
What concert did I try to get you out to? Isn't the
Addictingly Golden? Yeah.
Claire was there.
I love that for her. I love that for you.
But no, I actually am. I'm an events person. Like, I like to go out. I'm not a club party type, but I like to go to events, like galleries and like showcases, concerts. Like, that's kind of my ideal, like, you know, have fun. So, what's the last concert I went to?
Ashika? Did you go for Otomoto?
I didn't.
Oh.
No, because I was just coming back from Europe at that time. Sorry. I had other plans. Sorry.
Talk your shit.
I would have actually gone. I actually really like him too. He's a good artist. But yeah, I think the last one I went to was Ashake.
Do you like Charlotte Popey?
No, I hate noise.
Do you like Shea Vibes?
No. Add that to a pet peeve. I hate noise. Loudness, unnecessary like noise, pet peeve. Seriously. I just and then especially in music, right? Because to me, Playboy Cardi, all like Shelly Poppy, like these types of artists is just noise. That is such a hot take.
Again, You
sorry, guys. This is, again, it's just noise to me. I'm so sorry. Like, I actually cannot. I can't stand it. But that's the thing. It's my hot take. So
Bears.
It's my hot take. But yeah, those types of artists, noise.
Fair.
I'm trying to think who else. Like, that's why I also don't really listen to rap music, right? So that's like Don. Would you consider Don like a rap, like a?
Yeah, he is.
But I like rappers that sing. Is that how to say it? Like, I like singing artists.
Singing artists is insane. But I hear you. I understand what you're trying to say.
I'm just like a soft, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No. I definitely hear you. But, you don't want to ruffle too many feathers.
I don't want to ruffle too many feathers. You
already did.
Whoever's watching this, like, I apologize, but I said what I said. I said what I said.
What principle would you say guides your life right now?
I guess, the simple one of like, you just have this one life, right? Like, I think it's been a lot more like significant for me recently, just because of just the state of the world and just like everything. It just feels like a lot is changed, a lot is different, right? And it just makes you realize also just like because, for example, like Liam Payne recently passed away, right? So I just feel like with the amount of news that's coming out and just like the deaths and all of that stuff, it just makes you like, it's like reminders of how short life really is, right? And not to really like turn down the mood here, but I just like, it just makes me really think about, okay, like, am I happy, like, with how things are going? If I'm not happy, like, what am I gonna do to, like, change that, right? I think it's also hard. There's a lot of pressure for our generation where we're at now, just because I feel like it seems like you have to attain success at, like, faster and, like, at a younger age. You know what I mean? And, like, everyone is just really about, even on social media, like, you open TikTok, you open Instagram, it's another person, like, oh, I just made, like, whatever. Like, here's how you can make $1 million and, you know what I mean? Like, it's just all of this, like, ooh, like, you have to be wealthy and, like, invest. And, like, of course, like, I hear that. Or even bringing it down to just like where we're at, it's just like, people our age, they're getting married, they're having kids, they're like entering the next chapters of their life. There's like so much happening. And not that any of that really pressures me or like makes me feel like, oh, I'm not where I should be. Cause believe me, I am.
A midlife crisis is hitting.
It's hitting, but not to that extent of like, oh, let me go get married. Like, no, like that isn't what I mean. I just mean in the sense of like, okay, like, because life is moving so fast, are you making sure that it's moving along the way that you want it to, and that you're happy, and that you're, progressing, and you're working towards those goals that you've like kind of always talked about, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's my leading principle of just like, life is short. You only have this one life, and you're trying to make the most of it. So really just push those boundaries and like do what you need to do. Like lock in.
I like that, lock in.
Lock in.
Now I'm going to ask you a question. Are you happy?
Hey. Hey. Cut the cameras. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy. Like, I'm grateful. Let me put it that way. I'm grateful. I don't really know what happiness is supposed to feel like right now, which is why I feel like I'm still working towards happiness. Like, I'm definitely grateful for, where I'm at and, the things that I have and, like, where I'm going. But am I happy? It's hard for me to say. Like, I think more than anything, I do experience, like, little pockets of, like, okay, like, it really hits you, like, it's, like, an overwhelming feeling of, like, I'm really happy in this moment, right? But my, like, goal, I think everybody's goal really is to achieve, like, this long-term like happiness of like you wake up and your life is exactly like how you want it to be, and like you're peaceful in that, right? So I would say that I'm grateful and I'm working towards that like eternal happiness.
I like that answer. That's very good.
Yeah.
It's something we should all strive for.
Yeah. And I think happiness for me also is just peace, like extreme, like just peace of mind, peace of like good health, just peace, right? Like overwhelming peace. So yeah.
Can't lie, peace is underrated.
Peace is so underrated.
But
So
if I get into that, we're sleeping here, bro.
I think that's what I mean, right? It's like, listen, when I'm truly happy, you actually won't hear from me. I'm gone.
You can't give an excuse to ghost in the world, you know? I still remember that.
Why am I ghosting? I found peace.
Fair. You know what? That's
actually valid.
I'm going to start using that one. When any of my friends hit me up, yo, where you at? I found peace. I'm going to use that one.
I think it's valid. So protect your peace, guys.
Protect your peace.
Protect your peace.
What's next for you?
Grad school's next.
Is it?
Yeah. That's my goal for next year.
January?
No, not January, like September.
Oh, September.
Yeah. But this is like from now to then is working towards that. So I guess a little bit about outside of like the creative stuff, like
what else do you do?
Yeah, so like my 9 to 5. I'm a legal professional in like intellectual property law, like the legal field of intellectual property law. I work with like lawyers and stuff to protect people's inventions.
On some suits thing.
Yeah, it's very serious work.
It sounds serious.
And so it's very interesting because I've been doing it for like a little bit over a year now, and I realized like I really enjoy this. And so one of my goals is to actually find a way to bridge the gap between like my professional life and my creative life, right? So why I love IP is that it allows me to work in like the creative space with fashion or just like music and producing and like all of this stuff, right? Because it's people that like you come to us with an idea of like, hey, I made this, whether it be like a brand or like whatever. And it's like, okay, I don't want someone else to like to take this, like it's mine. And so the like prosecution side of it is basically like, you know, you go to court and you basically like fight to get your intellectual property, so like what you've created, your invention, protected. And you can do that in not just in Canada but like anywhere in the world, right? I'm looking at grad school because I want to basically further that understanding of like, okay, how do I like do this, right? And then also how can I like take this and bring it to the creative community in Calgary? Because I know all of us right now, we're working at like a very like on a small scale of like we're just kind of like putting our work out there and like we're hoping it'll grow. But I already have that like that vision of like it will grow, right? And you'll get to a point where like the services that I can offer like professionally might be of use to you or maybe not, right? And so I just want to like even though I have my community in mind, obviously like I'm currently already working in it, but like for bigger businesses and stuff like that. But I always just think about like, okay, like how can I connect these two things? And so yeah.
No, I'm curious to see how you would continue to grow, especially and how grad school will help you achieve that. So in about 2, 3, 4 years maybe I'll be coming to you for shit.
Exactly. Any of your legal, that's the thing, right? Because like especially within the entertainment industry and like the creative industries, people get blindsided a lot. You know what I mean? Like you even hear it all the time of like you're signing a deal and you don't really know what you're signing or stuff like that, or you're willingly literally giving away all your like. It's kind of like what happened with Frank Ocean, right? I don't know if you know about that.
I stumbled upon a reel and just went deep into it, but
But it's like that could happen, especially for like smaller local artists, right? Like if you do get to that point where like, okay, like I want to like blow and I want to go bigger, like you have to know like what your rights are and like what you're essentially like signing away if you decide to go with a label, right? But that's the thing of like with creatives is like when you decide to join an agency or like a business, you are at risk of losing that. So yeah. I mean, I would, because I mean, like with Cleo too, right? Like her brand, like she's asked me like once, like, oh, like, you know, if I use like the specific font, is that another brand has used, is that considered like copyright or is that considered an infringement, right? And I don't know why, like her asking me that, I was like, oh, hold on, like I kind of actually like, I like this. I like this. So I just thought, like, because I'm already in that field of work, I thought I was going to go to law school. But then, like, when I graduated uni, it was COVID hit. So I was just kind of like, okay, the world is a mess. Do I want to just put myself in another 4 years? I'm actually really thankful for that time because I don't think I would have gotten here where I'm at now. And so when I got this job, I obviously didn't really know what it was, but I've always heard like intellectual property law. And I started doing it and I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, I like this. And then because I can blend the two worlds together, to some degree, right? Obviously not like fully, but to some extent I can like bring my two worlds together. I was like, okay, like why not? So yeah, grad school's next.
That's good. And how long would that take?
I think probably like 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah. Let me get in first.
We're rooting for them. We're rooting for you. I know you get in.
But yeah.
You strut your strut.
Because I'll say this too, like earlier this year, what's her name? FKA Twigs, like the artist, right? She like went to the US, like she went to like a hearing in court, basically talking about the same thing of like, it's kind of crazy, even with the rise of AI, right? And technology and how you now like artists, like you can mimic an artist's voice or all of that stuff, right?
Oh.
Like it's becoming a thing of like artists are actually scared of like, okay, we need stronger laws that actually protect what we've been working for our whole lives, right? You can't just bring AI and then it's kind of wild when you actually think about the effects and the impact technology has on creativity and the creative industry and just the arts in general, right? So yeah, I'm really interested in actually like how can I be a part of like this up and coming like field of law, because it's fairly new, and it's so niche too. Because I feel like whenever I talk about like, this is what I do, people are like, huh?
If you're not an engineer, a doctor,
people don't really care. And I'm not a lawyer, but it's like you can actually do so much more in the legal professional than just being a lawyer, right? Yeah. First of all, I don't even want that life because those hours are insane. I like my life. Like I want freedom.
Fair.
So this is me like, when I think about it, it might lead to maybe like, ideally I would want to work in-house for like, let's say a agency, like a music, like a company, right? Yeah. Or an in-house for like a fashion company. Like that's kind of like where I see myself, right? So it would be doing work like this in-house for whatever type of agency or whatever. So yeah, but long term too, I'm thinking like, okay, I can start my own thing and then help the rest of my community, right? And I think that's why I'm always like mindful of like, okay, the friends that I make and like the people that are like, that I truly like, because I see the like value of your work and like your creativity. To me, I'm also like, okay, like a sign of being a good friend is like also about how do I support you long term, right? Yeah. And yeah, this is one way.
That's good. Well, I'm sure we'd all love to see you in the next few years. Help us.
If you need the help.
Precious.
Novio. No.
Thank you for being on this. And
thank you for having me. Honestly, I had a blast. I had a blast.
That.
Yeah.
Thank you for being in.
How do we close this off?
We can't hug him.
Yeah, I know.
You, but,
bye, guys.
Bye.
Ciao, you guys.